Hello from Kuala Lumpur, KLIA 2. I'm inside the Plaza Premium Lounge in the studio room, I believe. As you can see, today's video is very exciting because I'll be trying out the Malaysia Airlines business class on the Airbus A330. It's a long-haul product. It's a lie flat bed. I'll be flying from Kuala Lumpur to Bangkok. It's a 2-hour flight. So this is my second business class review, and I hope you will enjoy it. But we have about 4 hours before departure. I'm in KLIA 2, but the flight is in KLIA 1, so I'll be taking the train over to the other terminal, and then I'll be heading to the dedicated check-in area. And hopefully, I believe we may have lounge access. It's not written, but I'm pretty sure we have access. So I'll be checking out the lounge as well, and I'll be bringing you along. But without further ado, let's go check out Malaysia Airlines business class. I am taking the KLIA Express train from KLIA 2, which is a low-cost carrier terminal, to the main KLIA terminal, which is where most of the airlines are. And you can take this train between KLIA and KLIA 2, or either way, for only 3 ringgit, and it only takes about 5 minutes for the journey, which is a very cheap and comfortable way to get between those 2 terminals. Malaysia Airlines and Malindo Air have a dedicated check-in area for business class passengers. As you can see, on the right hand side we have Malindo Air, and on the left hand side where there are a glass panel, that's the business suite. So if you have booked on the Airbus A350 suite, that's where you will be checking in. But for the rest of the business class seat, you will be checking in on the rest of the business class desk, and they are pretty quiet when I was there, so check-in was very quick and easy. Through to immigration and security, it is very quick as well, as they have a dedicated desk for business class and first class passengers. So if you are flying business class or first class, you can just come to this middle section where they have a red carpet, and you will be going through immigration very quickly, especially during busy hours. And from the main terminal, I took the train that gets me to the satellite terminal. This is where my aircraft will be departing from KLIA, and this satellite building also have one of the Malaysia Airlines Golden Lounge, which I am heading to right now. The check-in staff was a bit cold and unfriendly, but as soon as you get in, you can see that the staff are very warm, friendly, and they greet you. And inside the lounge, it's quite big. There are 3 different sections. So the first one that is closest to the entrance is where you will find cook that does noodles. And on the middle section is where the drinks and the cold plates are. And on the further section, where I am right now, is where you'll find sandwiches and some soup and self-service buffet. The choices are quite limited. There are only about 4 or 5 choices here. As you can see, the cook stand by to make a fresh one on demand as needed. And on the lounge, you will also get a direct tarmac view, so I get to see my aircraft, which is sitting right at the very end there, an Airbus A330. And about half an hour before departure, I left the lounge, and as you can see, in the middle of the building of the terminal, there is sort of a tropical jungle zone. I've never been inside, but it looks interesting. But since I didn't really have much time to hang around, I head straight to the gate where the staff scanned my boarding pass and led me through to the waiting area. And that is where the security check is as well. So in KLIA, you will have to go through 2 different security checks to get to your aircraft. And about 15 minutes after hanging around at the boarding gate, it was time to board the aircraft, starting with business and one world premium or elite passengers, followed by economy class. There are 2 jet bridges. The first one on the very front of the aircraft is for business class passengers, and the one on the rear is for the rest of the cabin, which is the economy class. Coming into the cabin, you can see that staff are busy prepping for the departure. So there wasn't much of a very warm welcome, but that's fine for me. As I'm settling in to my seat, as you can see, there are a pillow and a blanket ready for me. And since this is a relatively short flight, about 90 minutes, it's great that they actually provide a blanket. And the cabin configuration here is a 222 and a 121. So if you are traveling with a companion, a friend, a family, or your loved ones, you can get one of the twin seats. But for solo travelers, the throne seat would be the best option, since you have 2 seats of space all to yourself, and that's only 1 seat on the space of 2. After settling in my seat, I was offered a welcome drink, which is non-alcoholic, and a cold towel to settle for the departure to Bangkok. The Malaysia Airlines provide the Malaysia Airlines branded headset. It is not the best quality, but it is much better than what they are offering for economy class. The in-flight entertainment screen is not very responsive, as you can see. It does take a few touches sometimes to get it going. There are quite a few movie choices, Western and Asian. As you can see, as I browse through the movie collections that they have on the flight. The seat comes with a universal power and a USB port. There are also a lot of storage space for you on the right hand side and on the left hand side.
Ladies and gentlemen, your safety is very important to us at Malaysia Airlines, so please listen carefully as we take you through some important safety features specific to this aircraft, as it may differ from other types of aircraft. Put your baggage in the overhead compartments or under the seat in front of you. It's important to keep the aisles and exits clear. Fasten your seatbelt by pushing the two metal ends together until they click and pull to tighten. To undo, lift the flap. You should be seated with your seatbelt fastened and visible even when the seatbelt sign is off. Infant seatbelts are available in this aircraft. Fasten your seatbelt like this and pull to tighten. Pull the harness and connect into the connector. It must be used during takeoff and landing only. As we're now preparing for takeoff, please enable the flight mode feature on your personal devices. All electronic devices must be switched off during taxi, takeoff and landing. Do not charge your devices during this time. Small devices may be handheld or kept. Larger devices such as laptops must be stowed. If you drop your personal devices in between seats, do not attempt to retrieve. Call your cabin crew for help. Put your seat upright and armrest down. Stow your tray table and keep the window shades up. You should do this when we're landing too. Remember, it's illegal to smoke on this flight, even electronic cigarettes. And that includes the toilets where sensitive smoke detectors are installed. Tampering with a smoke detector is an offense. If there's a change in cabin pressure, the oxygen mask...
Before the flight departs, they show a prayer for safe journey, which is mostly unique to Muslim majority countries. So as we are getting ready for departure after some delay due to technical difficulties, we are finally ready for our departure to Bangkok. Business class passengers are offered with a menu which shows all the options that you will get for the flight, and I have chosen the grilled beef fillet. Right before they serve the main dish, we were given a pack of snack as well. So this is the business class meal. It came in a tray, but they have a tablecloth underneath, and I enjoyed this meal while watching The Lion King. got a few seconds to try out the lie flat seat right as they made the announcement for the descent into Bangkok. For the very few seconds that I got to try out, I felt that the seat was very low and the very end of the legroom area is a bit tight, especially with shoes on. So as we are coming to an end of our flight to Bangkok, my summary for this flight is that it is actually not too bad. The crew it's not exceptionally nice, but I would give them maybe a 4 out of 5. And the food was fine, there was nothing to complain about. And as for the seat, there are plenty of storage. The only thing that I didn't like was that the seat being a bit too low in a lie flat position. There were quite a bit of privacy, and for the throne seat, which is the best value of course for the business class, since you are occupying 2 seats of space for just 1 seat. So if you are flying solo, that's the most logical seat to be having, since you get more privacy and more space. So if you are traveling solo on the business class product, definitely choose the throne seat. If you are traveling with someone else, then you can choose to have the twin seat. That will get you to sit closer to whoever you are traveling with. I paid quite cheaply for this flight, as they were having a promotion for their business class to Bangkok. But I feel like for a long haul flight, this seat is still not too bad compared to the other seats that I've tried. So would I recommend Malaysia Airlines business class? I would say if you are paying a good price, sort of a discounted price, of course you should shop around with other airlines as well, since business class prices are usually quite competitive when there are multiple airlines operating. Definitely I would say shop around. If you can find something else that gives you a much better service, you might want to choose a different airline. But overall, I would say I would give Malaysia Airlines business class a 3.5 out of 5 star, simply because the seat was really low when it's on a lie flat position, and the crew was not as engaging and not as friendly or warm as I would like them to be. So if you have enjoyed this review, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I have more about this flight on my blog, so make sure to check that out. It is travelwithdamo.me. I'll put the link on the description and you can check it out, and there are a lot more other flights and hotel reviews that I have on my blog. As I'm going through the Bangkok terminal, which is a large airport, it took me probably 20 minutes to get to immigration, And as if you are carrying a business class or first class ticket, you can go through the fast track gate, which allow you to go through a dedicated immigration lane for business class and first class passengers only, which as I've seen on their immigration queue, it will save you a lot of time. So if you have a business class or first class ticket and you are passing through Bangkok immigration, make sure to make use of their fast track service, and that will save you a lot of time going through immigration.